Patience is not and never has been my strong point. If there is a route from A to B that has a shortcut, I'll generally find it. There are only two things in life that get my full attention: coffee and golf. And trust me, there are no quick fixes for either if you want to do them well. Success or failure in both golf and coffee is often defined by fine margins. And whilst I would imagine there are few that are interested in how I make consistently better coffee, I am sure you'd like to play consistently better golf. The question is, how? So a few weeks ago I stumbled across this place in Salford Quays, Manchester, and I've come for a closer look around to find out how this kind of venue can help you become a better golfer this winter. So I am down out of the rain in the warm at this incredible venue. This place is called Tea Club, and we're in the VIP suite right now. We'll have a look around this place in general and tell you about the concept in more detail. But for me, what I'm particularly interested in is how we as golfers can get out of that wind and rain during the winter months and make use of TrackMan in probably a far different way than most of you are familiar with. Now obviously there's a time and a place to go whacking balls as far as you can at the driving range, but is it making you better at golf? I would suggest probably not. The difference inside what we're going to look at today is how we're going to use TrackMan software to make sure that you practice with some kind of purpose. So for a lot of us, it's about familiarising ourselves with TrackMan and understanding what this software is all about. It's at plenty of driving ranges right now and these kind of indoor facilities, but you need to understand what you can do with it. Golf courses, playing them, it's great fun, but we're looking to practice, so that's the area we're going to go into. We're going to go into target practice. And what that will allow us to do, as soon as this loads, is allow us to select a given yardage and give us a target. And it just means that we're paying a little bit more attention than just, like I keep saying, whacking balls down range. So even though we might go to the bag with our wedges through to driver, generally speaking, we're going through the motions a little bit at the driving range. So what I want to do is pick a target, and we'll start off right at the bottom end of the bag, so 60 yards away. We've got our flag, we've got some basic data. I'm not really interested in data too much, but I am interested in understanding this carry distance because that's what we're going to pay a lot of attention to. And all we're going to do is start off at 60, we'll go back out the screen, we'll increase the distances and we'll go right through our wedges and get a better understanding of, I'm not too bothered about, this isn't about technique, I want to understand how have we got the right yardages, do we fully understand how far each of our wedges goes, so it's half swing, 3/4 swing, maybe you want to try and flight it down a little bit depending on where you're at in terms of ability, but it's getting a true understanding of exactly how far each of those wedges goes. This is where it gets really interesting for me, and already we're starting to see the highlights of practicing with purpose. On a golf hole like this, and we've just stuck two in the water because we don't know, well, we didn't commit enough, and I ended up being short in terms of the carry. So we're just 80 yards out, I'll move to my 54 wedge. That's what it says I do with a 3/4 swing. Wasn't quite there. And then the final ball, we get the distance 77. But what you notice is a real interesting thing here, this impact video. How clever is this? You start to see your ball at impact, your club rather at impact, which can be a real telltale sign. On the previous two shots, club face a little bit open. They were those weak ones that ended up in the water. I made a conscious effort to try and close that face a little bit and it come out of the heel area, even though we got a little bit of a longer carry. We carried the water, but still you start to recognise little faults within your game. Right, so our wedge game's in order. We're still going to go into that practice element, but this time we're going to go to on-course practice. We'll go to Bandon Dunes, and what this does for me, and this is great about these kind of facilities and TrackMan, is that it starts to introduce an element of play, which is so realistic nowadays, it's incredible. We're going to go to, let's move on a hole. You can pick any hole now, and effectively, so it's a 217 yard par 3. We can play this hole repetitively. So what I mean by that is we can choose one iron. We're going to move it, we're going to place the ball a little bit forward because I don't want to be playing from 217 yards. We've got 145 yards to the flag. So suggesting 9 iron, I'm probably going to go with 8. What I'm going to do now is hit multiple shots into this flag and see what kind of condition my mid to short irons are in, and all we'll do is we'll gradually move further back on this tee box, we'll choose longer irons, and we'll just see exactly where we're at. It's the same principle, but I've got a real sort of target. It's this idea, practice with purpose, which is what I keep repeating, but it just focuses the mind so much more to have a target. And ultimately we're going to finish by picking out one of the longer holes, par 4, par 5, and then we're going to hit driver. So we've effectively played right through the bag, but with specific targets in mind, and we're starting to practice with purpose. But that's only phase one.
The way that we've kind of gone with Tea Club, we're an indoor golf club with a bar. We didn't want to be known as like a sports bar or anything like that, so it was very much focusing on the golf, but with this nice social aspect to it. So we've got our bar area, people can come and work here, we've got great pizzas on offer, other food, lovely wine. So it's a really nice sociable space where you can enjoy the golf but meet up with people. We have our guests coming in and they're, you know, can just play as they go, but the memberships are kind of how we wanted to grow a community here. So we wanted to make it as accessible as possible. You could get a club membership, and that will pretty much, if you were going to come 3 times in a month, it will pay for itself. You'd get 4 free hours. It's £70. You get 10% off food and drinks. You get a swing assessment, a club fitting, invited to the members comps, the social evening. So it's a nice way of trying to build that golf community and that golf club feel. You know, we know our members, we know our regular guests, and we want that feeling when you come in that you can ask for help and you can speak to the pros. But the location is amazing, and it's a really exciting place to be, especially with what's going on in Salford Keys at the moment.
Right, so next up we're going to go into a bit of a more random selection. So like you would on the golf course, you're not faced with the same yardage on every single shot. And we're going to go into that practice element again. We're going to a test centre, and I'm going to choose to test my ability out with wedge control, distance control. And what it effectively does, it will throw up 6 shots. They'll all be different yardages. Obviously, I've got to try and find if I've got a club in the bag that I feel I can hit that yardage with. Now what you'll soon see is that I hit the ball fairly straight, but all of them were either long or short, and my ability to understand what my wedges do wasn't that great. But the idea would be we go back to practice zone 1 and we start to drill down those wedges and get a better understanding of what those wedges are. We come back into test centre and we then start to see if our ability improves to understand our yardages. Well, that's a final one of my 6 irons. And what you'll notice is I've been pretty much a little bit left with every iron I've played. But the basic principle of this is to gap your bag. It's hugely important, and it's a key feature within TrackMan software. What we started off with, pitching wedge, moved up to 9 iron, you hit 6 shots, you start to see some averages, you'll start to learn a heck of a lot about your game, about your distance control. And perhaps a few surprises as well, because quite often we don't hit the ball quite as far as we think. But more importantly, it's getting that bag set up right. We've talked about loads in these videos and making sure that, particularly when you get to the long end of the bag, into this 6 iron, where do you switch up into hybrid? Well, it's this kind of information you're going to need to make sure you get that bag set up correctly. You'll maybe start to see duplicate numbers in this end of the bag, so you can start to drop clubs out of the bag. And I absolutely love, throughout all this feature that I've not seen before was this impact location. And you can see this shot that I just hit, which I pull left, and you can see the start line, pull left, closed face. So much you can learn from this stuff. It is absolutely incredible. But it's hugely important that more and more people understand how to use TrackMan to the benefit, and don't just aimlessly whack balls much the same way as we would in the driving range. Right, so that's me back out into the cold wind and rain reality, eh? That was amazing. Tea Club, what a facility that is. But the big thing for me was everybody understanding just how good TrackMan is as a piece of software to make your game in the warmth of a place like that. I love what we do on this channel. Last week we were in golf clubs from 1970, and this week we're at a state-of-the-art facility that is very much the future of golf, and I think a great way of getting kids involved as well. There's so many fun games that you can play. We've looked at a serious note this morning in practicing using TrackMan, but there's plenty of ways to have lots of fun as well. Right, that's me done. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're going to use. Have you learned a bit more about what TrackMan offers and how you're going to use it and practice with a bit more purpose next time you're in one of these facilities? Thank you to everybody at T Club for having us, and well, we'll see you all next Monday night. And don't forget, comments down below. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Do you like the idea of TrackMan, and what do you think of a facility like this?